Cool. We recording now.
We are.
Awesome, man. So I randomly hit you up on Twitter because our friends were talking to each other, and I thought it would be cool to hop on a Zoom and talk about what you do, see if we can pull some value out. I really love all the books in your background. I'm curious, is this like Ty Lopez style where you may have not read them, or have you
No,
read
no,
all
no.
these
I have, in
books?
fact, I've read like the joke is I've read like 80% of them. And then the bottom ones, like I've had these. I started this when I was like 16. I'm 28 now, but I literally have moved all over the US and I've brought them every time. And it's like the hardest part of moving. So I bring them and they
Yeah.
just keep stacking. But the bottom 20% is like the classic Amazon, grab it, send it to the door, add it to the shelf, and it has just died there. So my consumption of books has dramatically decreased. I'm so much more audible and podcast now, so much
Yeah.
more, which is like I'm not a huge fan of actually. Like I think I should get back into it because I've learned a lot from those.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Like, I spent all of my 20s reading physical books and a good portion of my 30s. And I also have moved around. I moved around generally every year for over a decade, like different cities.
Yeah.
And same problem, moving the books. And I did it for a long time. When I moved to Miami, I got rid of all of them except my like old psychology books. So
Yeah.
my bookshelf is like all psychology books from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, like the
Yeah.
source material that
Exactly, right? The
everyone
original. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I think I've got an OG Think and Grow Rich.
Hell
I have
yes.
like a OG, which is hilarious because I opened it the other day, and my first thing into business was trying to do like private equity style stuff. I like dropped out of
Hmm.
college, I went to ASU, and the bookmark I had in here was from a like jeweler in Newport because I moved to Newport and tried to like figure that out. I had no idea what I was doing. It was like true ignorance is bliss. We were trying to what I now know is like a roll up. We were trying to roll up a bunch of like alternative finance or alternative fitness locations, physical
Hmm.
locations. We got like 14 under LOI. We rented a Tahoe, drove around the US, hit everyone on LinkedIn, got franchisor approval, like did all
Hell
this stuff.
yeah.
And at the end, I was going to make a deal closing fee, like as like an independent sponsor. So it was me, a business partner, and an attorney. It was us three because he obviously a lot of legal work. And I wanted to buy an AP at the end of it, and it is AP Royal Oak Black Dial Auto, and it's like the tax, it's them financing it. It's like a full breakdown. And I found it the other day when I grabbed this book, and it's like hilarious, but it's like it's just like just funny stuff like that that
Wait a
you don't even
second,
think about.
financing it? Tell me you didn't finance the
I
watch.
didn't finance it. No, no, I'm saying when I was 18
Oh,
years old
okay.
trying to do this, I did that. No, 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 I did not finance this, but it's just like, it's funny.
Twitter,
It's just
do
like the
not
watch I
take this
wanted.
as an idea.
Yeah, yeah. Do
Please
not
do not
finance anything.
finance watches.
Yeah. Just like funny. It's like just things. So back to like the psychology part of it and all that. It's like those are the core books in here. Anything like skill oriented or yeah, I mean, on all of that is either I've learned through courses. I'm a course junkie. I have paid for guru course, mastermind, like everything you can imagine, and either then taken pieces and parts of that, and then really learned it by applying it and like learning what we by breaking things and running it active. But yeah, so like skills there, mindset frameworks, all that kind of stuff, books that have
Yeah,
carried through.
that's super cool. Like you know, my backstory is a little crazy, but at one point I had started my first physical business, and I'm turning 41 in a couple weeks. So when I started, we didn't have iPhones, we didn't have eBay even, like we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And um I ended up going all the way down to North Carolina. I found a warehouse that had store returned liquidations, and they were aggregating all the store returns from Harbor Freight Tools and selling them as salvage by the truckload. So full full 53-foot semi full of tools. It's like 65,000 pounds of truckload. It's crazy. And then eBay started, and I bought a truckload, risked everything I had, got it up to Michigan, and started selling it on eBay, and then got crushed when they implemented feedback. So
Yeah.
the feedback system was new, and there were
Yeah.
no rules, and they were trigger happy and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And so that business failed miserably. I lost everything I
Where in
had.
Michigan?
Metro Detroit.
Okay, yeah, that's where I am right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That's where
yeah,
you ended up? Where?
yeah. Well, okay, so yeah, long story, but that's where I'm from initially, is
Okay.
like around Ann Arbor, call it, like
Oh,
in
cool.
that area. And then went to Arizona for college. That I was there for a semester, lived in my dorm for a year, bounced around the Newport thing, Chicago, whatever. And then last three were in Puerto Rico. And then when I ended the Puerto Rico gig, I was like, fam, friends, girlfriend thing, like go back to Michigan for now. And now I got to figure out where to go because it's cold. I haven't done a winter in too
What's
long.
the actual city you're in?
Right now, Novi.
Oh, cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I grew up in Rochester Hills, and
Yeah. Okay.
before I moved to
Yeah.
Miami, I was in Lake Angeles, if you're
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah. 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 It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
wild. And by the way, please escape. Like it's
Yeah, oh no, no. I'm telling you, like that was my this was my first winter because I got back end of 2024 calendar year, like to finish out my
oof.
days, and then did a winter here and was like, or I mean, I'm still doing a winter here. It's April, and
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good on this. So
yeah, never
Scottsdale
again.
probably. I have
I
family and
like
friends
that.
there, and there's a lot of networks, so I think that's a spot.
Yeah, 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 that's good. So, I mean, I picked Miami because my business partner was there. It was a random
Yeah,
choice, but
Miami's great. I just feel like it's a little too. It's busy. It's busy. There's a lot of party availability. Not like there's not in Scottsdale, but like that kind of stuff. And like I had that part of my life and like I exited it whatever 10, 12 months ago. And I'm like I need to stay far away from that. Like I ripped hard and I'm done doing that. So
well, that's good.
Miami, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, on the Miami thing, I went there, but I'm older and first of all, if you're not really successful, do not move to Miami because you need a six-figure burn budget just
Yeah.
to go out to eat. Like
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
stupid
believe
and stupid. Um, but
it.
I have hundreds of clients there, and I didn't
Yeah, well,
know
for
that.
sure.
And so my friend circle is customers. Like I generally meet people like I meet you. I don't go out
Yeah.
to real world meet people generally. There's it's through friends of friends. And so when I got there, I just started hanging out with my friends, and I have a Miami no new friends rule. Like I don't seek out people there.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't drink at all. And so the
Yeah.
party scene just kind of, I like the
Yeah.
music, so I go out for that, but it doesn't affect me. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you just got done with that, do not move there because it's
Yeah.
fucking
No, I mean, I was gonna
crazy.
say, yeah, it's just done. There's AP's lost because of that. There's in Miami specific, there's just rough times. Like just a bad person overall. You could just classify me as a bucket for a group of years there. But no, I have a buddy that's from here that's a little bit younger than you. But he has a physical ecom business where they have like a China manufacturing setup and all this, and it's like aftermarket parts and
Mhm.
they're based out of here, but he spent 6 months in Miami and just loves it. It's like the people, the connects, like he just
Yeah.
lives that life. So it kind of does the whatever they call it, snowbirding.
Yep.
But I don't know, sounds like a lot to me. I like one place, one spot, one thing for that at least, and then bop around
It
when you want to have fun.
it's tough in the summer there. Like I moved in the summer, it's like living in boiling
120
water.
degrees. It's like
Yeah.
living in boiling water.
So last year I took my girl to La Jolla, and
Yeah.
then we went to Huntington Beach, and then I had a bunch of trade shows, and so we kind of escaped the summer, and this year we're going to escape the summer too.
Yeah.
Um, but healthy lifestyle wise, it's really an amazing place. It's the most fit city in the country. When I moved back to Michigan, I gained a whole shitload of weight, as you can imagine, and
Yeah.
then
Stay locked inside.
I went to Miami, lost nearly 40 pounds, and then
Wow.
I'm back up 15. And so it's been a good influence on me.
Yeah.
Anyways, real quick, when I was 20 and that business failed,
Oh yeah,
the
sorry, we derailed. That was my
no, it's
bad.
so
That was
fine.
my bad. We're in Michigan.
Yeah, the truckload business failed miserably, and I had to move back into my parents' basement. I lost everything. I lost my friends because they worked for me. By the way, don't ever hire friends.
Yeah.
Twitter space, like it's just don't do it. It's not
Yeah,
a
all of
good
this is
idea.
targeted to Twitter, by the way. All of this
Yes,
content is strictly for Twitter. Yeah.
yeah. So like don't hire your friends, don't buy inventory on credit cards when you have no money. Like it's not smart. Don't go celebrate your first win by blowing all your cash in Windsor, partying with your friends. Like all
Windsor.
bad things. Yeah, and so I moved back into my parents' basement and I effectively was lost and just had no idea what I was going to do, had like 40 or $50,000 in credit card debt and investor debt and I was just ruined as a kid. And it was reading that really, really changed my life. First, I started reading about leadership, which made me realize that I sucked and needed to be much better about considering other people and serving them. And then I started reading about marketing and internet marketing and read a lot of books on that. And then that's what really pushed me to focus on marketing on the internet, which
Yeah.
I discovered affiliate marketing. And I went from negative $50,000 to essentially millionaire in a very short period of time and never turned back. So, but it was books that saved my life, and I think it's really cool that you read a lot, and I know that most successful people that I know read a ton, and it's just a super powerful
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Speaking of which,
you're
buy
making me
my
want to go
book.
back
It's
to
great.
it. Yeah, I do. I have. Wait, is this you? This is you.
Is this you? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So no, when I moved to Puerto Rico, I did not. That was the only time I moved somewhere and didn't bring everything. Because when I first got down there, I was like, I'm committing to 3 years, but like I still don't kind of know yet. I'm gonna get a rental, then I'll buy because of all like 0%, 4% game, and like you have to
Yeah.
buy to get that one, whatever. Um, so I didn't bring all the books, but I would buy them randomly, and it would take 2 weeks to get a book anywhere or anything shipped, depending on what you're buying in Puerto Rico. But
Yeah.
yeah, this was one of the 5 or 10 books that I bought over that time. Because again, my
Amazing.
reading and physical books has gone like this. So over that last 3 years, it's only been a handful of books. But yeah, I read this, and what I actually did, which is hilarious, I started to read this and was like, I skimmed it, and the reason I skimmed it is because prior to that, I sat in a cigar lounge and watched for 2 days the entire YouTube version. Yeah. So when I read this, I was like, not to say I already know it, but like it was very
Yeah.
framework driven on like, or you used a lot of the same like
Yep.
stories and paths and stuff, and like I had literally just watched that because I
Wow.
work, yeah, like in A to Z, the entire thing.
That's so crazy, bro, that like you and I have never met. You
Yeah,
have my book on your shelf and you
yeah.
watched that crazy YouTube thing that I did. That was like 6 years
How many
ago. I had
hours is that?
hair. It's 25.
Yeah, no, I watched the entire thing.
Yeah. And I did it in a couple weeks and did it all off of those slides. No single
Hmm.
take, no
Yeah.
edits, no anything, just brain dump. And that was crazy how that changed our business, by the way. When
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
released that, it was like, I think we had 5 people, and including me and my business partner.
Five
And
team.
yeah, total.
Yeah.
Just, and we were losing money, a lot because our engineers are ad tech
Yeah.
engineers from California, so they don't make
Yeah.
50K.
Yeah, that don't
Um,
make sense.
and now we have over 100 people.
Wow.
And I think a lot of it comes from giving away that knowledge in that course. And it's so cool to hear people actually watch it. I need to do another one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I obviously that's how I record all the stuff I make now is like that raw version. I don't have scripts. I don't have anything. Like, yes, you eventually kind of like yap and ramble and go in directions maybe that weren't expected, but like as long as you know it or like they're valuable. I think it's
Hmm.
helpful to do that, and I think it's cleaner cut that way versus like some chopped and perfect dialed in thing. Like there's a time and place for both, right? There's a time and place. But yeah, no, I was in PR and I was going to a cigar lounge every single day and just like post it up. I would go gym, shower, walk, and that would be my walk, and then I would sit in a cigar lounge. And I have two buddies down there. I had like very, very limited friends. I was super, I mean, even to this day, like I live in this cave. Like I do this. And this
Yep.
is the first time I'm like posting on X and YouTube and like trying to make friends in the space more so because I was like, I don't have a lot of mutual interests with a lot of like normal people you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like in that, like, yeah, the average person wants to do things with sports and this and that. And like, it's just not where I sit in understanding. Like, I just don't. And like,
Yeah.
all the power to them. It's just not where like my interest lies. So I was like, what if I did it the other way around and just tried to find friends this way?
Yeah.
And, 30 days in, it is clearly working, which I'm happy about. But the one like friend I had down there that actually was down there before I got down there and digitally, him and another guy do a ton through Ringba. And so they're like ACA, Medicare, debt, like big, big lead gen guys, just two guy
Cool.
lean team. And they're rock stars. Like they've taught me everything I know about the space. They've taught me. And I'll build a bunch of tech stuff. So I've been in your platform to do tons of different tech. Like I do their posts from this to that and like storing stuff in Airtable and like passing back conversions and red track back and forth. Like I've set a ton of stuff up in the platform for that. But
Cool.
I've never direct run my own. I've scaled some or ran some of theirs that have been on. Like, we basically can spend as much as possible on this. We just need more eyes on ad accounts. And I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll do it for a
Yeah.
month. It's like I've done that, but that's the only thing I've ever directly done in your guys' platform.
Wild. Also, by the way, everybody, this was not planned.
Sponsored.
I
This is
did not
sponsored.
know. I
This is
I did
sponsored.
not know that he had my book, watched my course, worked with my customers. I don't know who the Puerto Rico people
Yeah,
are.
no, he told me to talk about pay-per-call masterclass book, his YouTube series, and talk about his software. I don't know. It was weird.
Actually, I don't sell anything anymore, Ryan. Like
Yeah,
I don't
you don't need to.
I don't purposely push that. Well, what I want to do and what's important to me is helping other people be successful, and so that's
Yeah,
why I started tweeting. I know that my personality is a little bit crazier, more intense than most and raw, and I don't care. Like that's
yeah,
authentic to me. But I really like to deliver value, and that just draws people in and they can see what we're doing. Like Ringba's big enough that they can go, "Oh, who's this Adam guy? Go find information and
yeah,
figure it out." At this point, so I don't generally like to sell or push it. I'm kind of like a mascot at this point, but
yeah.
like you, same thing. I started tweeting because one of my friends was tweeting and I thought it was funny. Jason
Yeah.
Applebaum, who I've known for over a decade. And I don't know, I just wanted to start to publicly engage. And I tried to do this on Instagram a couple years ago. And, I have like 7,000 followers. They're all industry or something, but I can't drop knowledge on Instagram, right? Like I
Yeah,
can't,
it's
what
harder.
am I gonna do? Like
Yeah, it's
I
harder.
just post pictures and shit. It doesn't do anything. So I really like how X does that. Anyways, I wanted to ask you about what you're doing. That was the whole point of this
No, no,
because
this is just open forum. We're just here.
well, I want to know though. So, like I was just saying, I really like to drop value to people. I've been harassing Jason to do a course. By the way, if you're watching, you should tell Jason we should do a course on marketing or affiliate marketing
You
for
guys
fun.
should. You guys
Yeah.
100% should.
He's like, "Oh, I don't know pay per call. I don't want to talk about pay per call. We don't need to. Like, let's
Yeah.
just do affiliate marketing." Or marketing or business or whatever, Jason. So if anyone's watching this, harass Jason, tell him you want me and him to make a course. We'll give that shit away for free. I don't even care. It
Yeah,
doesn't
right?
even need to be money.
100%.
But I have considered doing a paid course because I learned something super valuable about courses and masterminds years ago. And that was from going to one. I'm not a course junkie like you. I never thought to buy one. Um, but what I learned from this mastermind that I paid to go to, and I don't even do ads anymore, was I paid a lot more attention when I was
Yeah.
there. And I like really wanted to connect with people to deliver value to the group. And I made a lot of connections there. I had a great time. I'm still really good friends with the people that I met there. Like, I don't know if you know Teddy Trong, but I
Yeah.
met him there.
That's the name.
And now he's like a great friend and a customer, and he had never run calls before. And we just sat next to each other at this mastermind and vibed. And next thing you know, this guy's winning $10 million GOAT awards months later. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And so by spending that money, I was mentally committed to learning and doing something. And so I did give away the course. You watched it. I
Yeah.
think that really motivated people watch it and do something. But the fact that it was free devalues
Oh,
the
100%.
commitment from people. And
100%.
so you sell information, you know a lot about this. Like, let's
Yeah,
just do a
that's
case study right now. If Adam were to make a new course on pay per call, what do I need to charge for that? What is the strategy around how it's built so then you
yeah.
can go market it? Like walk me through how you
Yeah,
would
yeah.
do it if
So
you were me.
perfect transition, dude. So you saying bought a course, valued it more, met people in it. So I made a video about this. Like I bought every guru course and then we did this. So when I exploded that deal out in California, I moved back to Michigan, like tail between my legs, and wasn't in debt, wasn't whatever. It was all just time spent, but was not good. My dad has a big landscape snow company. I came back here. I was, living in my room, my childhood room, basically. So not the
Yeah.
basement, but, doing that and just trying to like figure it out. And at that time was the first time I bought a course that I didn't know was a course. I didn't know anything about this industry and bought a course on like Instagram shout outs. And they were teaching to
Wow.
do Instagram shout outs. You make a graphic, you pay $200, you're on some meme page or whatever, and then or like basically non-branded page, then you pay for link in bio, teaches you how to create a lander that is an opt-in connected to, I believe it was Aweber at the time that they were
Hmm.
shilling, and then going through Aweber, and the thank you page was you literally just set the redirect as a ClickBank link, and the idea being that it was going to self-liquidate And then you just owned this list and you could just market to them and do affiliate stuff. And like that is my first ever course, and all of that was right there. Didn't really go anywhere with it. I did it in women's fitness, which is hilarious now, full circle. Did it in women's fitness and didn't want to write as like fake as like a fake persona as some like female fitness person and like market to this list. So I just stopped doing it. And then tried ecom stuff, messed around, was kind of like working jobs, figuring it out. And then I bought consulting.com, which was Sam Ovens.
Yeah.
I bought his program, the second one. So there were three tranches. So into your now let's go deep into info here. So a lot of the time it's these ascension style things, especially in courses. It's like do it yourself, done with you, done for you, or mastermind is like kind of like the core common one. So Ovens had like the accelerator, which was a direct to webinar, so direct to cart. So you'd sell it through ads directly. People could buy it on their own. That was just a course with group coaching, or not even group coaching, with coaching calls and then a community. It's like course materials, coaching calls, community. The next one up from that was teaching you how once you got all the acquisition dialed, you now couldn't fulfill on them all. So you need to learn how to productize your service, which was essentially how to become a guru and course builder. And this was like, we say OG, but like obviously he wasn't OG of marketing. He was like OG of this age, this 2016, whatever time frame that was. So
Mm.
this time he's doing like 30 million a year too. Like he's doing crazy numbers with this. He bought consulting.com. I bought that program, very quickly learned I didn't want to be the face and be the consultant and like pick a niche and do that whole thing. The I help X do by X, like, everyone's bio. That's the classic from
Yeah.
him. And in that group, a guy posted in there, and I was like, oh, that name looks kind of familiar. Go to his page, and 3 minutes prior, he had posted like, hey, I have this company. I will teach, I'm trying to hire someone that'll be my like right hand, basically. I want to teach them all things about marketing, sales, and whatever of online business. I'm like, okay, apply for it, get on the phone with him. Thick as thieves. Next thing you know, 70 million later. Like, so I end up joining that company. They're running a women's fitness app
Mm.
that's low ticket, doing what was likely like was more so like now we're in like the Brunson age of direct to cart and funnels and all of that. They were trying to run a low ticket app that was $27, a 7-day free trial with $27 a month, and then OTO of like 167, 147 for lifetime access, and just get those economics to work. Basically breaking even, doing like 30K a month. And I came in and I was like building sales pages and like tweaking tech and just doing random stuff, making like $1,000 every 6 weeks. Fast forward, COVID comes around. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Sorry if we just got everything bricked. But come around to that, and then I think that's past. And then
It's X. You can
he
say
goes,
whatever you want
"Oh,
now, bro.
true. We can just write whatever words we want. I don't know where
It
this is
doesn't
going."
matter. I can't even get my trouble on X.
And true. And yeah, so he's like, how should we scale this thing to like 10 million? Because like, we basically have done $1 million in cash collected on this low ticket thing, but we're like not making much money at all. Like random 1K, 2K, 5K. I'm just like building pages in tech. I'm like, let's do a call funnel. He's like, all right, let's do it. So we buy another course that's like how to set up the CRM and everything. I buy Alex Becker's course at the time, which he was selling like on the DL. That was really a Trojan horse for Hyros. That was still scaling because he was like, basically everyone who comes in here, pay me 5 grand, 10 grand, whatever the number was. But like, you all need to sign up for Hyros because we need feedback, like
Yeah.
that kind of system. So I get in there, and that's the VSL script we use. We use the CRM system over this, built it around that, and we had already had a product that was an info product to sell. That was at the time we were selling it for 497 over the phone, which is hilarious on the economics now because you can't do that like very easily. And then next thing you know, 100K a month, then 300K a month, then 500, 800 million a month, doing that for a little bit. We're growing the sales team. I became an owner over this time. So now it's us three owners because the two founders who built it, the expert fitness, who's a rock star, and then the sales marketing focus guy. As we scaled, I went tech ops systems. He went marketing sales. She went product expert. And
Nice.
then we changed it over from info, which we increased pricing on, but we changed it over from info to coaching. And so like annual recurring coaching, one-to-one with the coach. And then we went to 3 million a month or 3.7 a month. And then our acquisition exploded at the end of 2024. So that's where we're at now. We're kind of like back in the trenches, 1.6 million last month. Not good for us because we have 100 and something employees now. We moved everyone W-2. We're like a real business now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
A
so
real business
yeah,
now.
a real business now, dude. We got an HR director. We've got
No,
all the
don't
things.
do that.
We need it. We need it. I just don't want to run payroll. So I was doing that for too long. But yeah, so we like built this thing in that way. And I always like to say this because it's like I like don't do well with the 0 to 1 concept. I've never created anything, right? And like I think
Mhm.
that's what I really like about lead gen or like or these other models where you're like scaling something that exists at some level. Like somebody built the offer and then you're
Yep.
scaling it, right? Or like generating sales for it versus creating it from zero. So like these guys did create it from zero. He met her in a gym. They built it up. They came up with the branding and the name, the product market fit. I came in, we changed the model that we were using and scaled the shit out of it, right? Not we create. So they created it. I came in, help scale it beside them. And now we have taken it to 71, almost 72 million in cash collected. And our
Awesome.
target is there's two other guys in the space, not like in the industry style, that do over 10 million a month with this exact model, with this info coaching model.
Nice.
So it's like, let's do it. So that's the quick info background.
Well,
Now, how do
the
we,
question is like,
yeah, well, how do you price it? What do you do it? And how do you sell it?
yeah, and then before we move on to that, like your target is what these other people have accomplished, but the reality is your target should be much bigger than that because if someone can do $10 million a month, there's no reason why you can't do half a billion.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Correct.
just
And like you've got the other guys
careful
out
with
there, like
that.
there's some I always like to just roadmap it like, oh, if they use this model to get to this, it's like cool, we can use this model to get to this, and then it's like new frontier, right? So like back to that whole like the framework's there. So which obviously you are more the 0 to 1 guy. You're more in that realm of like creation and you guys with software. Like mine's like, what do you mean? I see a model. It works to 10 million. It's like run the gambit to get to 10 million. And then it's like from there we can see if it can take more or if it needs in addition, like, either horizontally or vertically, like what is the direction. But yeah, there are guys in fitness space, let's just say, that are doing hundreds of millions a year with low
Yeah.
ticket, high ticket back end and some supplements. Like,
Yeah, the question you may want to ask yourself, if I might, is
please.
how do you do 10 times more in 1/3 of the time? Right? Like, okay, my target is 10 million a month. Well, let's just say that my target is 50 million a month instead. And how do I think about building to that from now? And then how long is it going to take? And then you figure that out. And then you ask yourself, how do I do it in 1/3 of the time?
Yeah.
And that thought exercise will just naturally expand or remove any limiting beliefs you have around a milestone like that.
Yeah.
Not to say that the way you're thinking about it is wrong, because it's
No,
not.
no, it's just a different way of thinking about it. I completely
It's
agree.
just a thought exercise of expansion. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs get sort of stuck in their ways, and I do too. It's you're trying to drive a business and you forget to take the step back and dream.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Miami, a friend of mine, a really good friend, his name's Sam, he owns an insurance company, called me. And I was like in a rough place because I moved to Miami because my ex of 12 years wanted me to sell Ringba or hire a CEO, stop traveling for work. And I said no. So she left me, which was great in retrospect, gift and an opportunity. Um, but so I land in Miami and I'm kind of in a rough spot emotionally. And my friend calls me and he checks up on me regularly, but instead he goes like, "Hey, who's your biggest competitor?" And I tell him for a couple different product lines who that is. Like one's a public company, one's a venture-backed company worth a couple billion bucks at this point. And he's just like, "Why are you thinking so small?" And in one of the most vulnerable times in my life, he like attacked and challenged my limiting beliefs when I wasn't able to defend myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's
Yeah.
like, "Who's the biggest ad tech company that's involved in calls? Like, who's the absolute biggest?" And I think about it, and I'm like, "Well, Google." He's like, "Cool. So what? How do you beat them?" And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to think about that." And
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, stop thinking so small." And I was like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
yeah, like what the hell?" And what's crazy about that is in the next calendar year, I more than doubled the size of the business and added 9 figures in enterprise value to what we were doing.
It's crazy.
Just like completely changed my thought process
Yeah.
around what we're doing. More than doubled the size of the team, made a lot of
Well,
investments, and like,
they say that I'm trying to I think it was like a Dan Sullivan book I want to say or maybe but like Cardone's got his whole 10x thing but it's all like the gist is if you say, okay, we want to increase by 50% this year, like list out all the things we can do. And you like have this list of like 15 things. And then it's like, now list out, we want to do 10x, list out the things you can do. And it's like cross out, cross out, cross out. Like to get to 10 times the size, you're not going to incrementally do this or this or this. Like you're fundamentally shifting the
Rebuilding everything.
belief, the action, like a complete new product line, a complete new like traffic source, a complete, like just fundamentally different. And like, so when you say that to us, that's instantly where my mind goes. Because like our constraint now, if I wanted to add a zero on a budget, is like, apps to booking. So now you have sales team throttling, and it's like right there. So like you would need to go direct to cart. If you're going direct to cart, what's the like economic model that would work on that? Is it info? Is it subs? Is it like mid ticket? Is it what to be able to do that? And then you're capturing LTV with the other ones. And it's like being able to come up with that. That's an interesting question. How would we get to 50 million a month or whatever instead of 10? It's like, yeah, that's interesting.
And in our case, it's software, right? And so you can
Yeah.
think about it from your lens, which is like, oh, how do I build the offer? How do
Info.
I do
Yeah.
the thing?
Info, ecom. Yeah.
My thought process shifted to something different, and that is, how do I expand the entire industry pool, right? Like, and I was just like, ugh. And that's
Yeah.
where the book came
Paper
from, a
call.
lot of
Yeah.
the
That's right.
marketing.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a lot of the teaching, and I have to get much better
That's
at
a
that.
crazy idea. Yeah. How do I expand how many people are using pay-per call both on the vendor and on side on both sides? Because then you just
Yeah.
have, if you have X percentage of market share, you assume you increase that, but you also increase the total pie. Like that's interesting.
Yeah, like my thought process is how do I make every other company in the space that sells something like I do more money?
Yeah.
Because if I grow the entire industry, right, the pool gets bigger, everyone else makes more money. And I joke that I'm the best salesperson for all my competitors. I don't actually think I have competitors, right? Like just
Yeah.
me, I compete against me, but like that's like I literally
Yeah.
think about myself as how do I be the best marketer for everybody else?
Super interesting. Yeah.
Because that means that the pool has gotten so much bigger.
What do you guys
Um,
do for the other side? So like the people who are buying more so, right? Like, because that I feel like this is more so geared towards like this is where the industry is going. This is it's
yeah,
expanding. It's going in this. Like, here's how to do it from the media buy, like kind of more on that side of things versus like, how are you? What do you guys do for like getting it normalized that landscapers buy paper lead instead of doing,
great
or do you just
question.
shift the marketers and then
No,
it happens?
it's a whole crazy sort of master plan side of that. So book number two is about the buy side.
Okay.
It's how do small, medium, regional, and even large scale businesses take advantage of consumer initiated inbound calls, pay per call. Um, and there's a lot to it. And then what we also need to do is we need to make it easy for the smaller scale and mid-sized companies to get their feet wet and to get involved, which is a really hard thing. Like, how do you go to, I don't know, a regional landscaping company that has 12 locations and
Yeah.
services Metro Detroit only and get them to buy phone calls? Like, it's
Yeah.
a concept that's foreign to them. They may not
Yeah. And
have,
handle the phone calls and do all that. And then you got
yeah,
this call center. Yeah.
exactly. And so,
Yeah.
like, how do you deal with that, or small insurance offices, that type of thing? And so we realized that the number one question I get asked at any trade show or anywhere is how do I find more buyers, right? Because a lot of marketers are not business development people. They're not like me, right? Like they're not going
Yeah.
to go to a trade show, open up a booth, bring a sales team and like hustle and get customers like that. It's just not their skill set, right? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't mine either. I had to learn it. And so that's why we launched Ringba X, which is our programmatic call exchange on the sell
Uh,
side. Basically, any Ringba customer only can ping it and get a bid for their phone calls, right? And so with that, we are going to make a heavy push into doing the business development for
yeah.
these types of verticals to bring the small and regional buyers in to create a large scale national network in every single vertical for not like paper call network, but just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
network of buyers to cover all of the geographic areas. And they are basically self-service and
Mm-hmm.
um, then our customers can just immediately tap into that. And there are some other companies in pay per call that do this in home services and some other verticals, and they've basically had a monopoly on the space
The
because
exchange portion.
Yeah, they have like networks of small
Yeah.
and regional buyers, and they take egregious rev shares, like 60%,
Yeah, yeah.
50%.
If they can get it, if they're the only one in town, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I'll just cop to it right now. On X, our average margin presently is, and this is a ballpark, it's like 6 to 8% or something, right? Like, we don't
Yeah.
need crazy margin because we control all of
Yeah. All
the
the vol
both
exactly.
all
Yeah.
the volume, right? Like, I'm not nearly as concerned about bad traffic as anyone else because we can
Yeah.
see it.
Exactly. Yeah. You literally know it's yeah, you see all the conversion data on it, you see the time, you see everything.
Exactly. And, the vast majority of the X participants are Ringba customers. And so we get paid on the telco as well. And that's prepaid basically. And so our risk is much lower. So we don't need to take crazy
Yeah.
margins like that because our core business is software. And so we're not looking to make our core business this. It's more of a way for where we can optimize it and do the business development for everyone so our customers can make the most money. And it's a crazy moat actually for our customers because if you're not a Ringba customer, you can't sell to it. Just like fuck everybody else.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me that we'll make less money that way because I take sides, right? Like that's my personality. My
Yeah.
customers
Oh, that
are
makes
who I
sense though. I
serve.
mean, yeah, exactly. And you do make more, more, not, more, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the exchange thing is like it's a very interesting concept. They do it in info too a lot of the time
Mhm.
now. That is education based. But so you're basically like, there's one that's really good that's in sales. They have a new one that's in like female sales specific, but it's basically they like sell to the front. So you sell to the beginner to teach them how to do the 0 to 10K example, and you teach them
Mhm.
how to get the skills and do the thing. And then on the back end, you B2B sell it to you sell the like person with the skills almost as like recruiting. So on the back, so you get paid two times. So your LTV is like, and then generally there's like community through it. So it's like I teach this person how to, they pay me 2 grand to learn how to do marketing tech or sales. They're in my community. I just got paid minus my CPA or whatever, and then it's a course. And then on the back, you're selling them like who needs a marketing tech person, and then you're selling them for 2 grand or 5 grand or whatever percentage, and like you just have this like exchange style thing. It's super interesting. Yeah, I mean, depending on how hard you want to rip, like you said, 60% or 2K flat or whatever it is, but yeah,
Well,
you
in
guys have a
our
crazy good
case,
interest model.
it just loses money, right? Like we have a
Yeah,
separate engineering team and a new biz dev team on the X side. And so the only people making money with X are customers presently.
yeah,
Like our payroll on that is millions.
yeah,
So, because it's really complicated technology and we're long-term focused, like we don't mind making the investment.
yeah,
Um, and so I think long-term, it's going to be incredible for our customers. I just got into like a public flame war with one who doesn't like the idea that we're doing this because they think it'll negatively impact their business. And I think that that type of mindset is is really an impoverished mindset. Like that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to see someone who's like, wow, who's built something big and kind of crazy, right? And go like, okay, well, how do I leverage that for my success as
yeah.
opposed to, oh my God, it might kill me. And I think it's hard sometimes for entrepreneurs to move out of that paranoia mindset to the like abundance mindset,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
100%.
And what I have found is our largest customers and my most successful friends will literally give all their secrets away, their secrets, right? Because it doesn't matter. The pie is so big that,
Yeah,
people can make a ton of money. Like in pay per call, you're talking about, I mean, we're tracking billions of dollars a quarter for Christ's sake. And like over $1 trillion in commerce happens over the phone every year in the United States.
yeah,
Like how am I gonna stop anyone from making any
yeah.
money? Like, how does
That's
that even
crazy.
work? So, it's really an exciting opportunity. I think it's super super cool. Just to see so many people be successful. I have a post coming up I'm gonna do, like a POV one, but like basically we've helped people make billions and billions of dollars now, and we've given away over $1 billion worth of GOAT awards. I see you have your ClickFunnels one
Yeah, yeah,
behind you there, which is awesome. Um, I I copied Russell. I'm not gonna lie. I
yeah,
have all these awards in
yeah,
the Miami. fake penthouse. It's just
Yeah, I
AI
was gonna say fake. You got to
generated.
make sure everyone knows it's fake.
Yes, like the one I'm in right now
Yeah.
is fake, by the way. This is a Zoom background. I am not in the penthouse at the Montage in Kapalua. Don't look at this. Uh, but um, we literally covered it in many versions of the awards. It's such a cool
Yeah.
thing to see. It's a very powerful thing to see like the
It's
impact
yeah,
you're
it's funny.
having.
It's like I love those. I think they're super cool. I mean, I don't know and how long this one will last behind me. Like we're about to get the third because each one they're $25 million discs.
Yep.
It's like once you get 100, it's like okay, and like it's just a fun thing forever because it was like oh the million one was on my board, my dream board version, which really just lives on like a dock or like a Canva
Yeah.
image, and then it moved to the 10, and we got that one within a year of the other one, and then we got that within a year of the other one, and it was like so it was just like a cool thing. And then would you say it's hilarious? I have the picture of the one of you guys bringing it onto the jet on my current one
Oh,
because I'm
wow.
like, oh yeah, no, I'm for sure moving in the direction of that, like at some point as like a side fun thing. Like I know so many people in the space, all of that. It's just I love I think the beauty of the lead gen model is the lean. If you do it right, obviously margin. Different people have different opinions on that, but lean margin, the scalability, the no face, and like the exitability, like all of
Hmm.
those things in one is like just something you don't really get in info that you can get in e-commerce, obviously, but like in info, it's not as common. Um, One or two have actually sold in info and coaching space, like like actual info and coaching of what we're calling it, like the guru space.
Yeah,
Hormozy sold, but theirs wasn't really guru-y. Like it kind of was, but it was licensing. They did a lot of different things and they did all of the process. He has a ton of videos about it, about how they had to change the business, remove the founder risk, like all those pieces, everything from marketing to
exactly.
product to whatever in order to do it. And like we're in the process of that now, but at the same time, it's like just business fundamentals. We just took a massive dive in our break even after doing 30 million and diving margins because we went from 12 to 30. So it's like we have business fundamental things we need to get to make sure the profit's there, like just to sell in general. And then founder risk, like we're adding brand faces. The product side is already out. It's all coaches, but it's just a lot of moving parts. With because it's like service based, but remote. It's like remote service based, not just like sell a course, not just
Yeah,
info, money in, money out, and very little fulfillment. Like, so yeah, there's a lot of layers, and the same thing. You had e-commerce with supplements. So basically, the model we're looking at is info low, coaching mid to high, more coaching like a group style, and then figuring out how to either do partnership or self for supplement style for MRR. So you have like recurring up here and you have recurring down here.
yeah. Your
But
back
you,
end.
yeah, exactly. And just fatten up the LTV, have multiple sources and have like consistency and like continuity throughout all of them. And then it is something that could be. But, you hear these lead gen guys talk about it and there's, not to say names, but people who have exited things for 10 and 20 and 50 and whatever that are nice. That are nice. That are in these lead gen things that I'm like, God. And I joke that is the biggest piece of this puzzle that is like, it's kind of like the 80/20. It's like you get your ads to work, like everything kind of works, which is like not necessarily true. Like you need to figure out your numbers. You need to understand the business. At scale, you need to run the people. You need to operate the thing. But like that's the part that I don't really touch as much. Like I understand what's happening in the ads, I understand what's happening in this, but like, did I write them? Did I do the creative? Did I scale them? Like, no, I didn't. Like, business partner does that part. So like, there's this little like bug in me that's like, I just need to do it myself on something just to like feel it, just like the A to Z portion, like that part of
Yeah.
it. And it's like, yeah, it's fun.
Well, I gotta go in a minute here.
Yeah, you're good.
I gotta go feed the Gen Z girls. But the
Girls.
well, look, I'm from Miami. You do whatever you
Yeah,
got to do, okay?
yeah,
Uh,
it's
eh,
fair.
Tangent, by the way, I was handed a papaya and told, "Have you ever cut one of these before?" And I said, "No." And she grabs her phone to go look at a YouTube video. And I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Watch this. I'm just gonna grab a knife and we're gonna do
Yeah,
it."
we're just gonna
It's
figure it out real
like what?
time. Yeah,
Like
she's like,
we're
no,
gonna
no, no,
cut
this is
the
the
fruit
exact way to do it in
ourselves.
30 seconds or less.
And she's like, "Well, I don't generally cut fruit." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm old. Watch this. I have a photo. I'll tweet it. It's just like literally me cutting papaya and putting it into a
The
container.
backstory behind it. Those who know will know the
Exact.
backstory.
It's just like it's, we don't even cut your own fruit anymore.
Oh,
But
it's fun.
what you talked about there, and that's why that triggered this story, is something that I have always done, and I don't know if a lot of people do. And that's like at Ringba, I don't even love my title. Like I talk to customers all the time. I do customer support. I'll do anything. Like it's not, you know,
Yeah.
this is not my job. Will get you fired at Ringbus straight up on the spot. And I have done my
Oh, I love
best
that. I'm stealing
to
that.
try. Oh yeah, we don't fuck
I'm
around
stealing
here.
that.
We do not fuck around here. Like you are
I
going to
am
do
literally
whatever
taking
is
like,
necessary to serve our customers, and if you will not, you are gone. Like there is no question about that. Our mission
stealing
is to
that.
serve our customers,
Yeah.
and that starts with me. I go to all the trade shows. I'm at the booth. I don't take meetings generally, so I can just
Yeah.
randomly talk to customers. But my point is like through my entire career, I have always spent time doing all the things so that I understand how they work. And um, like at the beginning, I did customer support over live chat. Like I'll
Yep.
still do it now. On
Yeah.
Christmas, I do it. So
Yeah.
like our team's
Oh,
out.
dude, I have so many. We were the first sale. Like we had two people on the team that were taking sales calls, but us three were also on sales calls, like competing against each other for all the beginning.
Yeah.
And like we hired and did those sales things. This Christmas, I migrated the whole site from WordPress to
Yeah.
Webflow and built a page and did it on Christmas night, like solo,
Crazy.
just sitting here in the trenches and like everyone's all. It was so funny, but like that had its
Yes.
repercussions. But
All
those
right,
are
man. I really gotta
you gotta
go.
go.
I'm
You gotta
gonna
eat
have
some
to.
papayas and do some
I
things.
will post this soon when I get back. I appreciate you. It was great to meet. We'll have to
Yeah,
hang
it's a
out
great
sometime.
menu. Cool. Talk soon.
Bye.